mode. Ballin' so hard, yeah, they think I got the cheat code. I got the cheat code. Spent two.
Okay guys, I'm gonna make this so easy for you. A lot of you are watching this channel because more than likely you probably want to lose weight or get leaner. A few of you may want to build muscle. That's a little bit less people, but we're gonna make this so easy. So we're gonna do this in basically 4 steps. The first step you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to find out what your basal metabolism rate is. And so what we're gonna do for that is show you an easy app, which is another one of the steps called MyFitnessPal. So your very first step in this is to basically download MyFitnessPal app, and I'm going to show you the link here now. Basically, what that's going to do is you're going to plug in your basically your how much you weigh, how active you are, and then it's going to set what your weight is, current weight. Always weigh first thing in the morning. Get out of the bed, roll out of bed, naked preferably, get on that scale and weigh. Don't weigh any other time. There's too many fluids and different stuff that can throw you off. So first thing in the morning, so get that weight, then you're going to plug in what your ideal weight is. So basically it's going to do the math for you, and I'm going to show you how that works. The last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set your what's called your macronutrients. So basically you're going to want to set your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fat as a percentage, and you'll see it. It'll probably automatically do it for you, but what I would like for you to do, if you're a 150-pound person, I would like to set your protein to 150 grams at least. There's all different views on this. In my opinion, if you're dieting, you need to preserve your muscle so your metabolism will stay high. So your weight should be the grams of protein. The carbohydrates and fat, you can adjust that to a different level, and I'll show you a snip of how that looks in a little bit, so don't freak out yet. But basically, if you wanted to do more keto or something like that, you'd obviously set your carbs lower. You can even set your protein a little bit lower, fats higher. But for my channel and the functional fitness lifestyle, my belief is set the protein at your weight. The carbohydrates and fats will adjust throughout the different days. Don't worry so much about that. But I'm going to show you the first step in how we this. Basically the last step you're going to need is to basically make sure you got a good food scale, and as often as possible you're using your food scale, especially for things like grains, rices, any high density like peanut butter, different stuff like that. Don't use cups, don't use tablespoons if possible, please. It's so easy to manipulate this. For example, if you have a tablespoon and you put in peanut butter and you count it as 1 tablespoon, but it's sitting this high on top of the tablespoon, that's probably 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, at least 2. And it's just, you're just gonna be constantly lost in how you're doing this dieting program. So this is gonna make it so easy. I promise you this will work. So real quick, we're gonna go to just an example of how to plug 3 things into your diet, and then how to find it, how to search for it. And a lot of times you're gonna be having to kind of guess a little bit. For example, if you see a filet, for example, is one of them, it says 4 ounces, but there's like 5 different fillets. Always try to read your label, but then use your best judgment too. It's always best to guess a little higher than a little lower, because if you guess a little higher, that means you're gonna lose a little bit more weight if that's your goal. So I'm gonna show you how this works through a couple of different examples. First, you're gonna zero out your food scale. We put the frother on, and now we need to reset it because it's now showing us how much our frother weighs. So you hit it again to zero it out, and sometimes it does this, it's a little sensitive. So basically we wanna take our milk, which is 240 is a cup. We're gonna do 4 ounces, so we need 120 milliliters. So hopefully I can do this. So you basically just hold it like this. And as you can see, as that goes up, we need to get to 120 milliliters. And there we go. So basically there's 120 milliliters, 126, that's a little over 4 ounces. Again, skim milk, not a big deal for over a little bit. But if this was heavy cream, if this was butter, your variance could be 200, 300, 400 calories. So you really, especially, I don't want to make this super complicated, but especially for your nutrient dense, heavy calorie foods, use your food scale. I'm gonna add this to my diary and I will show you a clip of how that looks. Okay guys, like I've shown you on here, now that we've added in the milk, we're going to go ahead and add in our coconut oil. This is actually MCT oil, which is essentially coconut oil. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look on the back here. And 15, this is a great example. 15 milliliters, 130 calories. You don't need much here. So we're going to come to our food scale. We're going to zero it out like so. We're going to pop our, see, it's just very sensitive, so you sometimes just kind of have to work with it. So we're going to take our coconut oil here, and we're going to just put in, I'm just putting in just a little bit. I'm going to put in 5 milliliters. So it was negative. There's 2. There's 3. And again, I have it on this thing, so it's being a little sensitive. Usually I would have it on a, it's a good point, have it on a hard countertop in order to do this right. But we're gonna go ahead and put in that, actually started it, we'll go ahead and put our 5 milliliters of coconut oil on the next slide. So now, as you can see per those slides, we were at 72 calories. I'm gonna do one more and show you how this works to use a different measurement. I'm showing you what we're making for lunch today, which will be one of our other videos, which is a steak. Okay guys, now what we're gonna do is take this from milliliters and change this over to, not fluid ounces, not grams, labels per ounce. So when you do meat, this is the best way to do it, obviously, because that's how meat usually is. So we set this to 0. Now we're gonna take this beautiful filet mignon, and we're going to go ahead and take it out of the container, and we're going to put it right there. And this is 7.5 ounces, which basically, if you know your cuts of meat, is comes out to just under a pound, not too much less than a pound. So that's basically how you would do that. So I'll show you on the next slide how you would program this in. So here's the cool part, guys. Not all meat always has this, but this is the container I had. As you can see, for 4 ounces, 140 calories, which again, can I tell you how awesome filet mignon is? That's like chicken almost. And so basically we had just under 8 ounces, so we're gonna do about 1.85 servings on our MyFitnessPal, which is gonna be all kinds of good protein, almost 50 grams of protein. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to show you one last thing as we conclude here on how you go into MyFitnessPal to find out your how it breaks down your macronutrients for the day after you've added everything. And besides just tracking your calories, it's good to check and see where you are in terms of your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats. And then also there's another part of the MyFitnessPal where you can track your weight daily, which helps you graph it, which is great. When you can see a linear graph, it gives you momentum, and isn't that what any progress is about, is just having momentum. So God bless everybody. Thank you for watching this. Try this. Give it a week. Give it 2 weeks, because it takes a little while to get used to, but once you do it, then you feel a little lost when you don't have it. So have a good day. Thank you for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe to this video. All those help us and help us to grow this channel to even reach more people and help more people live a fantastic lifestyle.